Those of you that were able to join us 2 weeks ago, you were able to kind of follow us along as Rod set up his new realm, finally.
It's a shooter.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm going to have to retire my destroyer this year. Not retire it, but sideline it.
It's on the bench for now, right?
Yeah. It's the first time in 8 years that I could actually say I was going to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You love that thing. So.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, while we got Rod here, guys, make sure you get your questions in because I am watching on Instagram. We have it going on live stream. We have it going on Facebook. So get those in because hunting season's coming up fast.
And 44 days left.
It is. It's coming up fast. We were talking about it the other day. I know a lot of other states, their deer season isn't open till October-ish, but I know for the most part, a lot of us Westerners out here, I can say that now, I've been here 15 years, so I think by attrition, the right word? By default, now after 15 years, I can consider myself a Westerner. But
as long as you can say Oregonian.
Oregonian, yes, I can say it. I don't sound like an Ohioan anymore. So, but get your questions in. Again, we're watching them. I'm watching for your questions in here. I know a lot of people are wanting to know little tidbits about bow setup. You're probably thinking about buying a new bow. If I've convinced Rod, I'm pretty sure we can convince you to get out there and try a roam. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, too. But again, get them in. We're watching right here, and Rod loves questions. And like I always say, you never know what you're going to get from Rod. So get those.
Honesty, you'll get honesty.
Well, let's talk about your realm a little bit. We were able to do the initial setup. So after we did our filming and did that event, kind of walk us through what did you do to finish that up and get it where you wanted it to go?
Well, I set my rest and everything where it's supposed to be, and then I laser tuned it. And then I shot it through paper, and
we actually shot it through paper during the event.
Yeah.
Yep.
But after
you got your actual arrow, right?
Well, I put the new limbs on it after that. So I had to start over.
Oh, you did because you had the wrong model limbs on it.
So
backstory. So the bow I gave Rod, the poundage was too low because he's a monster, So he had to up the poundage a little bit. So he switched the limbs, but he put Realm X limbs on, or Realm limbs on his Realm X.
Yes.
Even the best kind of. Every once in a while.
It's the same limb, it just looks different.
True. It worked. It's the same deflection and everything else, but I called him out on it because he didn't notice it. So you had to make it right.
Yeah. So anyway, I took it out to the archery range. I sighted in 20 and 30 with my target tips. And kudos, here's a perk for you. Start sending them to me. I need boxes of them.
Yeah, what's up with that kudu? I mean, I don't think a guy has ever said kudu as much as this guy. You guys been around, make good stuff. But.
I've turned last 3 bows that I've ever played with my target tips, and that broadhead hit exactly the same. Exactly. There's no difference. I don't have to play with anything. The broadheads don't have to line up exactly with the fletch.
Right. And it goes to show you just the quality. They've been around a long time, and it's just like a lot of archery products, there are a ton of broadheads out there, and they've really stood the test of time.
I've tried lots of them.
Yeah.
This is a pretty impressive one.
It'll take a turkey's head off.
It's
got to be good.
So.
So basically, so you put limbs on. You had to retune the thing again, because you've done that. So you laser tuned it.
Which I found something different on it. It's the grip.
Okay.
It's different than any bow that I have.
It is, yeah.
And I actually had a right tear instead of a left tear, which is very abnormal. And so I had to put a half a twist in my right bus cable, and it took it right out. But they always tune left for me to start with. If it's going to tear through paper, it's going to tear left.
Right.
And this one actually tore right.
Right. So that's what we talk about a lot is really your hand itself between person to person, but again, it's grip.
The grip is completely different. And it's really comfortable. And it's got the nice ridge.
Yeah. But no other bow you can really fine tune like that, right?
No, not on the market today.
So how long did it take you to really compensate, or retune to you tune your hand?
Oh, after I got it put back together and shot the first arrow, it took one more time in the press, it was done. So.
Right. Just walked it out?
That's it.
Excellent. So have you been out using it, or what's
I'm getting
ready?
I got it out to 30 yards with target tips and broadheads. I got a adjustable sight, 1 pin for hunting.
Right.
So I got to get it out to the archery range. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So.
Well, I'm going to ask you this question. We do have some great questions coming in. I've got coming through both some names I recognize in here. So I'm going to take one off Instagram first. So I ask you this question, I think every couple weeks, and normally your answer has been the same until now. So Logan Whitaker 11 is asking, what is the best bow for deer and elk in your opinion?
The best that we make?
I would say yes.
Everybody's got
we make the best, so
everybody's got their own opinions.
Sure.
We're kind of one-sided here. So
well, we know. People are watching, they know.
Now, I would go with the Realm X. It's just a beautiful shooting machine, and you put a 70-pound limb on there, and it'll blow through probably a moose.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Knock a deer down if you use the right arrow.
It'll go through. It'll pass through an elk. I mean, and those of you who have always been following us, you know, like I said at the top of the show, Rod always says destroyer, 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 and that's what I said today. Rod's answer has changed to the Romax.
Yeah, I'm gonna hunt with it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
He's a pretty picky guy when it comes to bows, and if we've swayed him off the destroyer, then that's a win right there.
Well, we've made a lot of good bows over the years, but the destroyer's just been, I just like the feel of it for all these years. There's nothing that we've made that can actually say that it's better than my destroyer.
Right.
They're good ones, but is it better? No, I don't think I'll change, but this year I'm changing. So.
We have a lot of great people coming in. This guy you probably know, Timothy Joseph Glom. You might know this guy. Is it too late to put on new strings if the season starts in 6 weeks? What do I do to get them? Whoop, it jumped up there on me. Let me go back here. What do I do to get them ready? If so, I'm pretty sure Tim's ready to get a new set. He's a pretty hardcore hunter, you know. So I think he's. It's time. You know, it's getting close. He's a Western guy.
You got 6 weeks. That's plenty of time. You put your new string cables on. You tune your bow, and you take it out and shoot 50 arrows.
Okay.
Don't even bother putting your peep sight in. Probably. Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
Shoot 50 arrows. Check it again for tuning, timing, laser. Something's going to stretch. Everything seats in.
Right.
So it'll
no matter what string it is.
Right. It'll be off a little bit somewhere, so you're going to have to tweak a little bit more. Go back out to the range, shoot 50 more arrows, and now you can probably put your peep sight in and laser tune it one more time, and you'll be ready. So.
Do you recommend putting it in any heat extremes, like out in the sun a little bit? You do that?
I do. That's the first thing I do. Actually, I leave it in my car, and it's going to stretch just as far as it's going to stretch on a hot day. And then I'll bring it in and won't adjust anything, and then I'll check it when it cools back down. If it's surely something's moved.
Sure.
It's going to stretch as far as it's going to stretch, probably, if you do that. So.
Do you have to go back in and re-wax, or do you recommend re-waxing after that? After you melted it, everything?
It gets so hot, the wax it'll seep out of there. So
yeah,
you definitely need to re-wax. So. String snot.
String snot.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I work on bows in the warranty room there that come in through the shop up front that are so bad. It's like, really? I got string snot, so I usually do it for them.
It's not that expensive to buy a tube of string snot.
I know, and you take it back out to the people standing there waiting for it. And says, "What'd you do? Put a new string on?" No. String snot.
I think we've probably done a dozen. Your basic equipment, basic tools to have. I think we've done at least a dozen of those events. You and I, and even you and Jeff, our marketing director, have. And that string snot is always sitting on this table, and still people don't get string snot.
Gotta have string snot.
Yeah. You know, as long as you know, string snot's great. There's other types out there, so have something. But
Textite's been around forever and ever and ever, and I still got a tube of it that's got to be at least 30 years old, and I still got some.
We're not partners with string snot or anything. It's just more of a personal preference, but it's a personal preference of probably about 90% of us out here.
Well, it's more of a flowing.
You're right.
It's easier to put in.
Right.
You know, the other stuff, it's like a hard wax candle stuff, and you got to heat it up to get it liquefied.
Right.
Then you might burn your fingers. Done that.
Kyle on Instagram, Kyle6516. Thanks for joining us, Kyle. Buying new arrows today or tomorrow, what do you recommend? I know this answer, but I'll let you take it away.
Buying new arrows today or tomorrow. What do I recommend? Well, it depends on the poundage of your bow, your draw length. You got to spline your arrows out to whatever poundage you're shooting. So if you're shooting a 50-pound bow, you're going to get a completely different arrow than a 70-pound bow. So.
Favorite model, favorite brand, favorite model.
Oh, my favorite brand? I like Easton.
I'm not going to bet against this one.
I like Easton arrows. ACC is my favorite.
Yep.
It's got an aluminum core in it. Of course, once you bend them, they do bend. And once you bend it, it's pretty much history, but they're pretty dependable.
Right. Yeah. And that's one of those ways you have a lot of longevity with. There's a ton of great arrows out there, but that's something that's not let you down, right? I shoot gold tip, you know, and I've shot Easton in the past. I've shot gold tip. I've shot Carbon Express, and I just kind of landed on gold tip. Honestly, I can't say why. I've just had really good success with them because I use them for my hunting arrows. I use them for my target arrows. And
there's a new one out there. It's new to me, but Black Eagle.
Yeah, Black Eagle's a good arrow.
That's a plus or minus 1,000th guarantee on your shaft, so that's pretty good.
Right.
I just bought a dozen of those for my Olympic bow.
You're a good Olympic bow. There you go.
And a sight.
That's cheating.
It's Olympic style.
We got some great stuff coming in. They're going to test you today. So, Tim on Facebook, Tim Lovern. Tim, thanks for joining us. How much difference does helical fletching really make with a bow like the Rain 6 or the Realm X? I shoot the Rain. Helical versus straight.
Nobody really does a straight fletch. It's still
offset,
it's got a 3-degree offset, and
so
that's what I use.
We'll say an actual helical versus an offset.
A helical's a pretty severe twist, which gives, depending on your arrow rest, clearance issues.
True.
So I use blazer fletches with a 3-degree offset.
Yep, same here.
And they fly broadhead perfect.
Yep, they give me a ton of spin. I don't have any clearance issues at all with any of my rest brands I've ever used. So, yep. So I mean, helical you've seen a lot when bows were much slower to get the arrows spinning faster, but anymore a 3-degree offset gets it spinning like now.
Well, you used to have to shoot feathers because there was no clearance in your window.
That's true. You had to get them right. Yep. Good point.
Some bows didn't even have a cable rod in it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true, man. You're taking me way back now. So, Pete Watley on Instagram. I'm new to bow. I think he's saying he's new to archery. I'm new. Is a stabilizer necessary for hunting? And if so, what brand and length is a good place to start? Wow, that's a good question and a broad question. Yeah.
It's not really necessary to have one, but it will help your shooting. It'll bring your groups. I didn't believe it years ago when I got talked into trying one.
Right.
But my groups were like that at 20 yards. I was happy. And I was shooting with the guy that had a stabilizer, and he's just packing them in there. This is 35 years ago. And his name was Geronimo. And I asked him, I said, what is that thing on the front of your bow? And he says, well, you want to try it? So he unscrewed it and gave it to me. I screwed it in my bow, and my groups, I was slamming arrows instantly. I said, okay, well, it does help.
About what year was that, Rod?
1982.
Not bad. I was still in high school. I think I was in elementary school. I think.
Yeah, I work with some people out there. So I was born in '98.
We do have a pretty young crew out there. That's pretty cool.
Great.
People ask a lot about stabilizers, and they really serve two purposes. Is one, stabilize, low weight offset, and also vibration dampening in a bow. So you really need to look at how your bow is performing. Generally, our bows don't need a lot of vibration dampening, if any. So it's more of just offsetting your weight.
And it also takes the shock out,
right?
Depending on the model that you get. It's like I still have an old Bomar that has hydraulic fluid in it.
Oh, wow. Man.
So the idea of that is when the bow's shot, it continues to wave out front,
right,
and then comes back to your hand.
Right.
And by that time, arrow's gone. So,
man, get a lot of old stuff. You need to start an archery shop. You probably have some good stuff, don't you?
Only for old people.
That's the name of your store, only for old people. I like it. Let's do it.
Old people archery.
I'd invest in that. Let's do it, Rod. Oh, man. Arius Tools, I think it says. Arius Tools. Worth upgrading from an experience. So I'm assuming they're asking to the Realm X. Is it worth upgrading?
Experience is a great bow. It was a excellent shooter. I still get them coming in, rebuilding them for people. People still shooting them, but they haven't tried the Realm X yet.
That's it. I mean, like Rod said, the experience is great, and it's the foundation, the grandfather of this bow. I mean, every great attribute that's in your experience is in this bow tenfold. You know, that's the big thing. So
it's definitely an improvement.
Let's take a look. Man, we got some good stuff here. Let's see. Davis Reynolds is asking, "Hi, Dogg. If I get that elk hunt in Colorado, will you go with me?" Thank you, guys.
Yeah, if they want, if it's paid for, I'll definitely go. Yeah.
Well, I think he's talking about a certain elk hunt. I think it's an elk hunt we're Bowtech is doing.
Yeah, that we're just giving.
I think let's tell people about that again. So what do we got going on, Rod?
Well,
Let me see how well you remember this. It's been a few weeks.
You can get a guided trip, elk hunting.
Yep.
All expense paid, bow included.
Yep.
Were they going to throw in clothes?
I don't know. We're still working on them. We might be able to work something out.
I'm not sure
there.
about
We've got some good friends. We might be able to work out something.
You don't have any expenses, whatever.
Yep, we'll get you there. You know, basically bring the clothes on your back. We're going to outfit you. Colorado elk hunt with Nate Zielinski, our own Nate Zielinski. So it's pretty cool. But we are also giving away a trip for one of these things.
Yeah, we don't get to do that one either.
This is cool. Yeah. So we're also giving away an Illinois whitetail hunt with Mike Stroff from Savage Outdoors in the One. And I'm doing this early because I'm going to keep Nolan on his toes here. So we're going to throw to this really quick. We're going to make it super easy for you to join these contests. It's pretty cool. So all you need to do is text the word hunt to 77453. And what we'll do is we'll send you a text. You got to go to that link in there. So just by texting hunt, you're not entered. You got to go to that link. What we're going to do is we're going to send you to a page where you can enter both. You can only win one, but you can enter both. But it's pretty cool. What we're going to do is we're going to give you 3 questions in each. So hop in there, take the whitetail quiz. So 3 questions, and we're going to ask some cool things, you know, kind of about your knowledge level of a whitetail hunting, some things you're comfortable with, maybe not comfortable with. But what that does, it gives us the ability to give you cool content, give you cool stuff like what Rod and I are doing, stuff from Whitetail 101, stuff from Randy Newberg, Mike Stroff, to help you become a better bow hunter. But you can do the same thing on the elk sweep. So go in there, enter the elk sweep, answer some questions in there. There's only 3, so it'll be pretty quick, but it's the same thing. We're more about helping you become a better bow hunter. So that's what this is about. Plus, we want to give you some cool stuff. We want to give you some cool hunts. So once you take those quizzes, all you need to do is sign up at the end, fill in your information, and you're entered to win. So again, that's a all-inclusive Illinois whitetail hunt with Mike Stroff from Savage Outdoors and the One, or you can enter both, or a all-expense paid trip to Colorado on an elk hunt with Nate Zielinski. And I've been doing some shares already on the page and also here on social of some teaser stuff that Nate Zielinski's. I don't know if you've been able to hop in there and see it. He's been doing some scouting, and he has some nice-looking bulls that he is working on. There's been some fires out there. I don't know if I know we probably have some people from Colorado watching. They've been getting some pretty bad fires, which has been screwing a few things up.
As we all have, actually.
Yeah, it's gonna. We're in a drought state here, but he's seeing some elk, which is a good thing. So I know Mike Stroff's gonna have some stuff for us here pretty quick as far as some deer he's seeing. There's some trail cam pics, so it's gonna be a pretty good deal. So we'll hit that again later. So
if you win, it doesn't cost you nothing.
Yeah. So I think he's asking if you're going to be able to go on that elk hunt with him.
I doubt it. No, I'll be probably busy right around here. So we got bigger elk here anyway.
Yeah.
Not bigger horns, but bigger bodies.
We do. We have some choices on both sides, but man, Colorado would be cool. Here's a guy we hear this guy all the time, Derek, still passing through. I don't know if you remember that name. He's always with us. Thanks for joining us again, Derek. Rod, do you have any slop in your D-loop between it and the knock top and bottom, or do you tie in knock sets? I usually have a tiny bit of play and they seem to self-center, just wondering.
I always leave just enough. I put my, before I tie my D-loop normally, I put my arrow knock on there where I need it, and then I tie serving top and bottom, but I leave just a gap top and bottom, and then I put my D-loop on the outsides of that.
Okay.
But you really don't want it so tight that when you snap your knock on there, it pinches your knot. If you're left-handed, it'll always tear right.
Right.
And if you're right-handed, it'll always tear left.
A lot of people don't know that. That's a good piece. So, and I think like Derek is saying too, as you draw it back, because of that string angle, it's always going to keep that centered in there as well. I do the same thing. I tie a little bit above and below just to give myself a little bit of a gap there. No, that's perfect. Nicholas Guttman, I think is how you say it on Instagram. What do you recommend for an Africa hunt?
Well, it depends on where you're going and who's requiring what, because some people require an 80-pound bow, some people require a 700 grain arrow?
I think so. I think a lot of it's kinetic energy is the requirement. So.
And it depends on the animals that you're hunting. And it depends on where you're at. I mean, if you got a private ranch or whatever and you're shooting zebras, the owner of the ranch might not have these requirements.
Right. Right, and a lot of it's, the law. I mean, and if you're looking at something like the Range 6 produces a ton of speed, it's a great draw. It's going to produce great speeds with heavier arrow weights. So generally, you're going to produce that kinetic energy you need and still not, hurt your shoulder when you're throwing it back. And
listen to it pop and creak all the way back.
Yep. Like you did when we were tuning your bow. Here's a good question. Hendrickson2091 on Instagram. Where's the line to replace a cam if you have the chip that's not rubbing on the string? So I think it sounds like he maybe has a chip in the string track.
Okay. You should check it with your fingernail or your thumbnail and run it on the inside of that groove. And if you can feel a bump of any kind, then you do need to file it because it'll cut serving. So you can take a little bit out and smooth it without hurting anything.
Right.
If you take too much, now you're prone to derailing.
True. And if you don't file it right, you can actually make it worse than it was. Put a little razor edge on there as well. So, Ernest on Facebook, Ernesto Castanon. I just got a used Fanatic 3.0, and the rollers on the flex guard have some play in them. Compared to my experience, my experience and other Bowtech bows, and they are tight. Will this cause any problems?
If it's making noise when you draw, it could be making a clicking sound maybe if it's too loose. If it is, you should probably send it back to me.
Yeah, there you go. To get in your dealer, see if the dealer can take care of it. If not, they can get into rod and have them
there is fixes for it. So.
Yep. So I would check it out. I mean, sometimes it's machined, the axle groove may be off just a hair.
I mean, you could put a 10,000 spacer on the back side of there maybe and tighten it up. So.
Right, good point. Here's a question. I'll answer this one for Gerald Skinner. I'm still shooting the 2011, oops, it jumps down as soon as I... Your daughter says hello, by the way. I just saw it pop through.
Hello, whichever one it was.
I was waiting, and I had not seen her yet, and I was going to make a comment. So, let's see. Gerald Skinner, I'm still shooting the 2011 Bowtech Invasion. A great bow. I use it as my backup still. I just wanted to know why it was discontinued so quickly. Thanks. And that we look at model years because there's certain, usually you try to go 2-3 years most on a model. Before technology, you have to keep up and stay advanced with the technology. So usually 2 years is by the time all of our competitors will catch up with us. So we have something in development 2 years.
Got to be ahead of the market.
It is, which we always are, but we got to make sure we're always ahead.
And then the other thing is once you come out with it the next year, it was such a big improvement that you didn't carry that one over.
Yep.
So.
Have you been doing any scouting at all yet? Or?
Nope.
No,
nothing.
Me neither. Gerald also asked if the ticks are bad this year in our area. The fawns are catching it in West Tennessee area. I haven't heard any reports here.
Yeah, my son-in-law's already had 2 on
it. So there's your answer there.
And the news report here says it's supposed to be the worst tick year ever.
Yeah.
So.
Probably because no rain.
And I don't like them either, Gerald.
Your daughter wants to know if that's a new shirt, by the way, too.
No. Sweet, though.
We haven't had that one in a while, have we? So. Oh, man, we got some good ones coming in. Let's check out Instagram again here. Okay, so RH03 She. What measurement do you like to start with on the Romex? So I think they're asking center shop. Example, 13/16. My arrow is to the left of center compared to my stabilizer, right-handed. There's an easier way to do this than a measurement. So.
Yeah, ignore the stabilizer lineup.
Yep.
It's the window cutout is what you're going by. So if you want to get it perfectly centered, you can do the arrow thing like I showed before.
Right.
The shaft thing.
Measure it out.
Yeah, you can put your arrow on your rest, and then you take another arrow, and you run it right up against the shelf.
Sure.
And clear out here, you can look at it and see a perfect alignment.
Right.
Then you know you got your center shot.
Right. One thing you need to remember on when you're looking at arrow versus stabilizer, your stabilizer is in the dead center of your riser, where your arrow, or your cams, your string track is offset just a little bit. So that's going to make your arrow offset to the left a little bit. It's still going to run perpendicular to the center line. And with our bows, that's the place it's going to tune, right? Only our bows. But it's still going to be on center. So you will see, if you look down from the top, it will look like your stabilizer and then your arrow is offset to the left a little bit.
It's really exaggerated if you have a 3-foot stabilizer.
That is true. That is true. But some people might land a little differently. Rod talked about grip. So depending on how your overdrive binary cam system tunes, you may end up moving your string a little bit to the right, and then that arrow path is a little bit to the right, or more on center of that too. So. Bill Dutton, I knew somebody was going to ask, what is the next target bow coming out? I have a 3.0 and love it. Man, I love getting these questions, but you and I like our jobs. We love our jobs. I know Nolan loves his job, and we would like to keep them, so we can't say anything.
Surprise when it comes out. It's a good one, though.
Exactly. So, right now, we can't let anything out of the bag. Rod already did enough, so. we love working here, so. Let's see, Keith Toon, I'm on Instagram. I'm using the 80% let-off mods on my Fanatic. I want less let-off, but I don't want to use 65% mods. How can I get less let-off with the 80% mods?
You get the bigger draw stop post diameter and put it in the same hole. And you'll have the same draw length, basically within a 1/4 inch.
Okay. So he's using the mods, but he wants the draw posts, like we have the 3 different size draw posts.
Exactly, which will relieve some of the let off. I mean, it'll probably take you down to 70% maybe.
Right. So put you right in the middle of where you want to go.
So he's probably a finger shooter. He really likes a lot of back tension.
Probably back tension, target shooter sounds like. Yeah.
Finger shooters don't like all that let off. Can't let go.
Oh, man. What's up, Chris Skelly, Team Bowtech? I see you on Facebook. I see you on Instagram. He's on our one of our Canadian shooters that goes up there and wins everything.
Hey.
I've paid him a lot of contingency up there, so thanks, Chris. He's an awesome guy. So, let's see. We got some good questions coming in. Scott Brewington. Even though I know we should shoot all year round, I think I'm like most and take a couple or 3 months off during the summertime. Is there anything we should do on our bows in the off season, such as back the poundage off or any mechanical adjustments?
You can back the poundage off. It's always a good idea. Relax the pressure on everything. But when you put the bow back to poundage, when you start shooting it again, you're probably going to have to retune.
Retune, yeah. This is not like,
it's not a big deal.
Yeah, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, that might have been a different answer, but anymore, the materials have changed so much. String materials have changed so much. You know, as much as I get to shoot, I'm probably in the same boat. My boat is from, I think last time I shot my realm was when we launched the bows when I went to Illinois last year. And it's still hitting, I went and shot it the other day and it's hitting the same spot as what it did back in December.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got a Black Knight. That's a 2003.
Right.
Still shoots. I don't like shooting.
You're spoiled now, especially now that you have your Romex. You're really spoiled.
It's still fast, I'll give it that.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
My elbows can't take it too much.
Yeah. Talk about creaking and popping.
Oh man, it's a slammer.
Ron Logston. I have a BTX31. Can you put the X31 mods, the 31 mods on the original 31 disc? I'm trying to get to 28-inch draw, but mods.
You can put.
So it's not like he's trying to mix the two between.
You can put the 31 mod on and still get down to 28 inches. Is that what he's?
I think so. I have a BTX 31. Can you put X30 mods on the original 31 disc? I'm not following that question.
Well, they might be calling this cam the disc, evidently.
Well, we have the power shift disc on those. So Ron, if you could maybe clarify a little bit what you're asking there. I kind of following you, I think, a little bit. I don't know if you're trying to put the 28 mods on the 31 to get it down. If that's the case, that doesn't work.
That won't work.
But if let us know if that's what you're asking.
We send out an extra set of mods with that bow. It comes with the 30 mod.
Yep. So I know that's what he's asking. That's what he's asking. No, it won't go down. So what he's asking is if he puts that one on, if it'll go down further on the bottom end.
Oh, no.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately. Yep. That's exactly. Thank you. Rod clarified that for me. Sorry, I was not on the same page there. So, oh man, we got some. I'm gonna scroll, make sure we didn't miss anything. We've got some great questions coming in here. I want to make sure we get to everybody's here. Michael Lopresti, another gentleman that joins us quite a bit. Do you have an opinion on single beveled broadheads?
Single beveled broadheads. Well, the kudu broadheads that I shoot are single beveled on one side, and you flip it over and it's single beveled on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's sharp too.
Yeah.
It's machine steel, and on the back side of it, it's the same thing. It's cuts on the back side too.
Right.
It's beveled on one side.
Yep.
So I like them because they actually make your arrow. I mean, you shoot it into a Reinhardt target, you're going to have to pull your arrow corkscrewing out to the left, guaranteed, or you'll pull a chunk like this.
Right.
So.
Right. Here's a question from Stefan. I think I pronounced your name correct. I shoot a range 6, and I feel what he's asking is he has a range 6, and it feels like it takes off when he shoots. I'm assuming that's what you mean. I'm sorry. I shoot a range 6, and it feels like it pulls me down when I shoot. So I think it's probably saying that it's taking off on him. Can I put a quarter or a half turn on the upper limb? So it sounds like maybe back the poundage out, maybe a half turn. But it sounds like maybe he's going to shoot and it's taking off on him.
Like if you creep.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading it as that.
Don't creep.
Don't creep.
Don't creep. It's back tension.
And he could maybe have cams out of position a little bit too. I've seen that before.
Yeah, you might. Your timing might be slightly off, where you might have to advance the cable half a twist or something.
Right. So have your dealer check it out just to be sure it's in the correct position, because your valley might be really small.
I know what he's talking about. It's the airborne. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Don't
Pretty
creep.
short valley there. Yeah. Let's see. Bowhunter75 says, "Keep up the amazing work, Dog." All right. I'm gonna make sure we get everybody's questions in here. So, well, looks like probably a lot of people are sitting down eating some dinner. All right. Well, it looks like it's slowed down a little bit. So, we'll finish up. Let's talk about your year. I mean, just kind of what's your hunting season gonna look like, Rod, as we end the show here?
Well, I don't think I'm gonna elk hunt this year.
Not gonna elk hunt, man.
First in
not even with your Realm X?
No.
Man.
I got an extra deer tag, so I can get 2 deer and a half a beef in my freezer. And I really don't want to pack another elk out of the woods. I don't have a horse, so.
Yeah. So you're gonna hit it hard on deer then, right?
Yeah. It should be fairly simple, being so I got permission to hunt private property. So.
Can't go wrong there, private property.
Yeah.
There's a lot of public land here, but there's a lot of people on the public land.
Yeah, I got a great vineyard fellow that he said they're costing him about $1,000 a day. So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he's all about getting you in there.
Yeah, he doesn't like them.
$1,000 a day. Yeah. He's gonna give you free wine along with it?
No, he charged me $15 for a bottle of that.
The hunting's free. Yeah, I guess I would take the free hunting over the $15 bottle of wine. So, all day long.
So you can have fun in the tree stand.
What's in that canteen? That'd make for some good hunting.
You might miss.
Yeah, that is probably true. Well, brother, I appreciate you joining us
thanks
today.
for having me.
Good having you in here again. So, well, we talked about it a little earlier, and I wanted to hit it again before we left, is our hunt sweepstakes. If you guys have not entered, or if you're just hearing about it, make sure you get in there and enter, because this is just really a, once in a lifetime on us. I mean, that's the big thing. You may be able to do it on your own, but it's on Bowtech.
This is the first time it's ever been done here. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of other people footing the bill for this. That's a pretty big deal.
When's the deadline?
So elk is going to be, Nolan, you might know the dates off the top of your head. I don't know it off the top of my head. I think elk is done in August. Is that right? Yeah. Yep. So it's on the entry form, but it's in August, and then the deer is September 18th. I do know that. September 18th, because the elk hunt is happening, I believe, in September, and then the deer hunt is happening after that. So, but we're going to make it easy for you to join. So our AV guys looking up the dates on that while I do this. So to join, you can do two things. You can text the word HUNT, H-U-N-T, to what number? 77453. Gotcha.
77453.
77453. What we'll do is we'll text you a link. You go to the link, it'll take you to the page, and you can enter both of those sweepstakes. So one, we have a Colorado elk hunt with Nate Zielinski. Two, we have an Illinois whitetail hunt with Mike Straw from Savage Outdoors in the one. So either way, I mean, you can't win them both. You can only win one. If you're the lucky winner, but either way, I mean, it is a hunt of I don't want to say hunt of a lifetime, but it's a definitely awesome.
It's a hunt I wouldn't mind taking.
So you got some dates, Nolan?
August 10th.
August 10th, and that's for the elk, right?
Yeah.
August 10th for the elk. Yep, and I think September 18th for the
September 18th.
for you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. Get in there. Make sure you can't miss out on
Well,
that.
it's less than a month. So.
Yeah, coming up fast. I'd get in there and do it. So get in there. Text HUNT 77453, or you can go to bowtecharchery.com. There's a cool banner at the top that Nolan's created. You click on the banner, take you to the same place. So you can get there. There's no reason why you can't enter.
HUNT 77453 is easier though.
That's it. HUNT 77453. Plus all the cool content, Bowtech live content we're going to give you. I mean, again, Nate Zielinski, Randy Newberg, the outdoor chef Jonathan Collins, man, he cooks up a storm. Phenomenal stuff. Whitetail One, I mean, Whitetail 101, him and Jeremy connected. They've done a ton of stuff together between Chef and Jeremy Starks and Dakota Collins and David Miller. I mean, those guys are one, together they're crazy. I mean, this is a great group of guys, and just the knowledge coming out of that between cooking and hunting. I mean, if you don't win the hunt, the content alone is a win that we're going to give you.
Can't help but learn something.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Dog, let's do it again this week. We got to get out there and shoot. Maybe this heat will cool down a little bit.
Well, I got a
We'll get out there
3D
and
coming up Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Money
practice.
dots.
We have a 3D set out back. Is it still out there?
No, they took it down.
We'll figure something out. So
We'll just pack them out there.
we'll do it. We'll set it back up again.
I'll walk them up so I know how far to shoot.
I figured you're going to do that. Thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure you text that HUNT to 77453. Until next time on Bowtech Live, have fun and shoot straight.
See it.